Today I am going to explain you the second approach to work with the Java config approach, right? How we can work with the Spring MVC web application with the Java config approach too. Okay. So in our previous class, what we have studied? We have studied like how to work with the uh, Spring MVC application with the Java config approach by using the web application initializer, right? Here we have used web application initializer by implementing web application initializer, and we are manually creating the dispatcher servlet and registering the dispatcher servlet to work with the Java config approach. Okay, so before jumping into the uh, before jumping into the this one, like the second approach, I just wanted to show you one more thing. Like here we have used the Java config approach, right? But if what if we are using the web.xml and the XML approach, right? XML approach and all these things, but we are going to create our dispatcher servlet manually. Okay, so XML file we are using like the beans.xml that if you have, then how we can deal with that. So in order here, what we are doing, we are creating annotation config web application context. So similarly, what we can create XML 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 web application context. This is the web application context we can create. For example, this is the web application context is equals to new XML web application context. This is the stuffs we can create, and context dot set config location something. Yes, set config location. Here we will pass our config location. Okay, config location and all other things remain same. Instead of annotation, all these things, what we can do, this context we can pass here. Okay, all other things are remain same. It is to work with the whatever the app.configuration file we have written these things. So here what we can do, we can pass our config file here, right, in order to work with the XML. Okay, that is let make it aside, and to discuss with the second approach how you can work with the Java config second approach. Okay, so for that, what I am going to do here is like I have created the folder Java config approach 2 to save some time. Okay, so here what I will do, I will create, instead of I will copy, and here I will paste. Will it paste? Okay, so fine. So here I will create app config and my web, instead of my web initializer. Uh, okay, fine. And this is the things, and I will create the controller. I will also copy and I will paste here inside the this one config not destination package. This is should be controller. Okay, this is the controller. Where it went? Okay, config. Okay, let me create the package controller. Okay, controller package I have created. In the controller package, what I'll do, I'll copy the net banking and I'll paste inside the controller. So this is the stuffs I just wanted. Okay, and views also I have created, index.jsp. What I'll do, I'll quickly rename this one to home.jsp, 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 and I will simply move to the views folder. Okay, home.jsp, and web.xml I am going to delete because we are not going to work with the web.xml file deployment descriptor. Okay, home.jsp, I just wanted to uh, write uh, net banking app approach 2 approach 2. Okay, so this is the things I just wanted to display. Okay, so that we have written. Okay, so this is going to execute. Okay, the all things that is done. Let me minimize the approach config approach one. So in order to work with the show the approach 2, what I have done, I have copied all whatever the file that is there. I have copied to the approach 2. Okay, this module. So what I have done, we have app config and my web initializer. Okay, whatever the code we have written as part of this, I am going to also this app initializer. I am going to show how to configure the servlet dispatcher servlet here. Okay, so here what we have done, we have created the servlet dispatcher servlet manually and register the dispatcher servlet. Here we are going to remove that and implement also. I am going to delete this one. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am going to extend from one class that is abstract annotation config dispatcher servlet. Okay, this is the abstract annotation config dispatcher servlet initializer. Okay, instead of web application initializer, what we are doing, this is the another approach. There are multiple approaches are there. I'm going to show you. This is this approach now, abstract annotation config dispatcher servlet initializer. So if we extend this class, then we have to implement whatever the method that is there. Okay, there are three methods basically that we have to implement. Okay, so for the time being, let me document some things. Okay, fine. So here, whatever the okay, let me go to the previous application. What we are doing, we are dispatcher servlet. We are configuring here, and the URL patterns, all these stuffs we are doing here. Okay, so as part of the okay, let me comment. Let me close all other things apart from these. Close other tabs. Okay. So what is the meaning of that? Here, this is the root config. We are not going to configure this root config and all. Okay. So this is related to the root application context. So here, this is our configuration class. Whatever the configuration class we have, that we are going to configure here, and the servlet mapping here. Okay. So configuration class. What is the configuration class name? This is the app config. This is the app config. Okay. Here, this is the app config. We have this class we have to write. Okay, so what we have to do, this is a class array. So this is a class array, and for the time being we have only one config file. If we have multiple files, so that is why it is provided a class array. Okay, so what we have to take, we have to take one class array cls is equals to, okay, this will take one array, and this is, oh, okay. So app config dot class. This is the class. I'm just passing that, since we have only one configuration class. So that is why I have written one class. So finally we are going to return the class array cls. Okay, and this is the config class we have configured. This is our configuration class, right? So that is how that is what we have configured here. Uh, instead of writing all these stuffs in the app, what we are writing in the app initializer, the same thing we are configuring the app configuration. We are only configuring here, and that we are returning. Okay, so here we are going to write our servlet mapping. Servlet mapping means what? The URL pattern that we are going to write. The string array. It is also string array. So what I am going to write? This is string array. Let me str array. Okay, string array. So what I am going to write here is string array and the servlet mapping. Mapping is nothing but, oh, this is array, right? This is array. So I'm going to write the mapping slash. This time I'm going to write I net banking. Okay, I net banking slash star. This is the things I just wanted to write. Okay, that's all. So what? Okay, I just wanted to return this str array, right? So this is the things I just wanted to write. Okay, so as part of the previous one, what we are doing? Okay, let me open that. I will show you the distinction. App initializer. Close. Okay, what we are doing as part of the previous approach one, what we are doing, we are manually creating the dispatcher servlet. We are configuring, we are registering the dispatcher servlet, and we are adding the load on startup and add mapping. Okay, so these things we are doing. So how, what we are doing here, so we are manually configuring as part of the previous approach. Now Now the servlet container will take care automatically. Okay, the creating the dispatcher servlet and the tomcat, what it will do once the application is deployed, so it will automatically create our dispatcher servlet and it will configure all these stuffs, right, by itself. I just wanted to tell you, like, this is the configuration class we have configured and the URL pattern we have mapped. That's all. Apart from this, we no need to do anything else. Okay, in the previous approach we manually configured, but here we have to configure only the what the configuration class is and the URL pattern. That's all. Okay, now it's a time to deploy our application. If I go to this one and MVC approach to apply, then run. And this time our URL is inetbanking slash inside this inside this controller, what we have, the home. Okay, so inetbanking. So application is getting deployed. Let me check once this is deployed. And as you have noticed, it is creating the dispatcher servlet. The name is itself is dispatcher. Okay, that is the default default dispatcher name, because because that is taken care by the framework itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will take the context path and will go to this one, and I will try to hit this one slash I net banking slash home. Okay, so if I click, then we are going to see the JSP page, right? Net banking app approach 2. That means the approach 2 is working fine. So we got to know that we have seen the approach 1, how to work with the Java config approach 1, and here we have seen how to work with the Java config approach 2 by extending from the abstract annotation config dispatcher servlet initializer. These are the things I just wanted to show you. So that's all for this video. We'll meet in the next video with a new content. Thank you.